43 stopping the vehicle Central and 40th Place. 13L30 is behind the unit.
Sit back and relax. Your group therapy session has started. Welcome to Alone and Unsupervised.
Welcome to the Alone Unsupervised Podcast. I'm Isaiah.
I'm Frank.
So today we wanted to talk about how first responders become desensitized and why dark humor is so important in our community. As first responders, veterans, we all have some sort of dark humor. And by dark humor, I mean the jokes you just can't bring up at your family's holiday get-togethers because they're all going to look at you weird.
Definitely. For anyone who has first responders or veterans as friends, I'm sure at some point during your interactions you have come up with some sort of an idea when something is said like, are they serious? Are they not serious? I mean, what do I do? Do I need to call 988 for them? Or
like when somebody talks about taking the Remington retirement as a joke?
Yes.
That's a good 988 call.
Or, even when it comes to other things such as, somebody makes light of a bad situation. I mean, you may think to yourself, if you haven't, or if you're not in this profession, you may think to yourself, oh my gosh, how can they say something like that?
Like after I've heard it, I've even said it myself. You go to that bad car wreck where people were burned. Next thing you're thinking, all right, go with barbecue.
Yeah.
Or,
you do this job long enough too, you become desensitized to the point where traumatic things like that should, make you not want to do anything normal again.
Yeah.
You learn to adapt. You really have to adapt is what it comes down to.
Yeah, you have to adapt or this profession will consume you.
It will.
And the next thing you know, you're the guy that or girl that isolates themselves in their house and just talks to their bottle of Jack Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
And that's unhealthy. After getting out of the military, I found myself becoming that guy, and now I can sit here and say that I've been 5 years sober from alcohol.
Yeah.
So,
again, it's not something you seek out to do. You don't seek out to make inappropriate jokes.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things you find yourself doing. And all it is it's truly a coping mechanism.
Oh, for sure. 100%. Yeah. Yeah.
You have to find that way to cope. And unfortunately, it's one of those things where we just, it kind of happens. And you may start off in this field or in this line of work thinking, oh, it'll never happen to me. But before you know it, you're at a call or you just finish a call and suddenly you say something and you even surprise yourself. Like, I can't believe I just said that.
Yeah. Or, my filter doesn't work half the time and I'll think something and then I'll say it and I'm like, that wasn't supposed to be verbalized. That was supposed to stay internal.
Yes. Sometimes that internal monologue lets loose.
Yeah. Like, recently my wife cut her finger pretty severely and in the middle of me patching her up, she's carrying on because it hurts and she's freaking out because she's bleeding profusely from her finger when she shouldn't be, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I look at her, I'm like, can we be an adult about this?
How'd that happen?
And then I said it, and I kind of
how'd that work out?
Did what you do when you hear something weird, you kind of turn your head sideways. I was like, that was supposed to be a thought, and it will stay there. It wasn't supposed to come out of my mouth.
Yeah.
It was responded with not violence, but responded with, why are you doing this way? Why are you being mean to me?
Yeah, it's one of those things where when you least expect it, and honestly, sometimes as you transition, you really have to begin to make an effort to not say inappropriate things.
Yeah, and I feel dark humor comes out with me. Obviously, death and people dying is not funny. But over the years, I've seen enough of it that it doesn't. I'm not gonna say it doesn't bother me because it does. I've said it in previous sessions. The thing that gets to me the most is children. That's where, like, I might need a phone call the next day. Hey man, you all right? But like the first time I saw a Lucas machine, which for those of you that don't know what a Lucas machine is, it's basically automated CPR machine. Is the simplest way to explain it, right?
Yeah.
In this job field, in this community, most people call it the geezer squeezer. That's what I've mostly heard it referred to as, because a lot of people don't know what it's called. But at my first agency, we had Axon body cameras, and if you don't know, Axon body cameras, if you're in the administration level in the system, you can live feed your officers' body cams, and it'll turn like a purple color on the display screen. That way, people are live streaming it. First time I saw a Lucas machine, it was actually my very first death investigation that I did, and I saw the Lucas machine being put on, and it started doing its thing, and I'm thinking, oh man, I've never seen this before. But I've heard a lot about this machine, and the part that got me is as it was violently pushing this guy's basically sternum into his spine, his pants kept riding down, and I just thought that was the funniest thing ever. But I had enough sense to remove myself from the situation and go find a dark room to laugh in. And again, people dying and death is not funny, but it's a coping mechanism and it's a response. And my supervisor calls me because he had live streamed my body camera, and he called me, "What are you doing?" I was, "I'm in a room by myself." He goes, "Why?" Like, "Well, because I didn't think laughing in front of the friends of the deceased would be appropriate." And he was like, "Do me a favor." I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Conduct yourself, regain yourself, and go be a professional. Act like you've been here before." I was like, "Well, Corporal, I haven't been here before. I've never seen the Lucas machine being used." He goes, "Oh, I get it. Take a moment and then get your ass back out there."
Well, and again, somebody would hear that story, or somebody would see something like that and think, "Oh my gosh, how could he be like that?"
Yeah.
But if you look at it from a psychological aspect, I mean, for lack of a better term, I mean, it's normal, because your body is, in your mind, is kind of at that point where you're seeing something super traumatic,
Mm-hmm.
and it's one way or the other. You either have to find some way to cope with it through either laughter or through just completely breaking in that moment, having that emotional break.
It's kind of like a different version of fight or flight if you think about it.
Yeah.
Or your parasympathetic nervous system. Yeah.
Yeah, and so as much as maybe people think we as in everybody within the first responder or veteran community, we may be a little off. Really, what it is, it's something. It's a normal reaction.
Mm-hmm.
We're just not having the one that maybe somebody would think that we should be having.
Yeah.
But if it comes down to it, I would rather it be that than just completely losing control and not being able to function.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then so a couple of days after this call I was just talking about, my chief calls me in the office, and I'm in there with the supervisor that called me, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're all sitting in there, and the chief was doing his job. He was doing a quick checkup, because he knew that was my first death that I dealt with on the job and stuff, and called me in his office. I sit down. "Hey, how you doing?" Doing a quick checkup, yada, yada, yada. And then it turned into us comparing stories about the first time we dealt with a death and how we responded.
Mm-hmm.
And then somewhere in this conversation, the chief I had at the time, he was older. He was
Careful.
Yeah, listen, hey, chief, you know who you are. If you're watching this, sorry, big guy.
Careful. But, you refer to as older. Is what I'm saying.
No. He was, I think, early to mid 60s.
Okay.
So he was
better.
He was older. You know what I mean? But he was like, "Did you get a good look at the med list?" Oh, yeah. It was, what was he on? Pulled up a notebook. He did this, and this. He was like, no blue pills? We're referring to, And I was like, no, Chief. I was in his medicine cabinet, not yours. And my supervisor looks at me like, did you just say that to the chief? And again, it was one of those filter moments like, that was supposed to remain a thought. And Chief leans back in his chair, does this with his fingers, and just lets out a howling laugh. And I'm like, still gainfully employed, thank God.
It's always one comment away.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I feel like that shouldn't have been received as well as it should have, but thankfully I was in that guy's good graces.
And, sometimes it's also easy to forget what it was like at first.
Oh, yeah,
like
for
the
sure.
longer you do this.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say for at least my experiences, as I guess sad as it is to say, I kind of grew accustomed to death and trauma and things like that while I was in the military.
Yeah,
so nothing really surprised me here.
Now, were you in the medical field before joining the military?
Yes.
Okay, and then you did medical and military before becoming Leo, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you were well versed with violence and death and just how dark and dangerous people can be before entering law enforcement.
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
I mean, even
I think that makes a good law enforcement officer is life experience. But sorry, go ahead.
No, it's so even in retrospect, when I first started doing military medicine, I went into it very arrogantly. I was very cocky, and I thought I was prepared for anything. But
boy, were you sadly mistaken.
I was like, once I started, my first deployment was the largest wake-up call you'll ever see.
I don't want to dig too deep into it, and if you don't want to talk about it, it's totally fine. But let's go back to your first mass cast, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many patients was it?
So my very first one.
Mass cast is mass casualty incident where there's a lot of people injured.
My very first one was.
And was it friendly or foe? Mass cast.
Friendly by proxy.
Okay.
I mean, it was civil. It was Iraqi civilians.
Okay.
That was a very bad week for me in general because I had already had a few things go on a few days before.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a local village that got bombed.
By our bombs?
No, actually by insurgent bombs.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, not cool, but.
Yeah. But I ended up having an entire family show up at the gate. And by family, I'm talking mom, grandma. I think there were 5 or 6 kids.
Oh, wow. And a
newborn.
So like 3 different generations.
Yes.
Okay.
And we had so many, and we were so overwhelmed where I actually, the FLAs, the military ambulances, I surpassed any kind of traditional loading, and I just got as many people in there as I could.
You can always fit one more.
Yeah, and so I ended up, at one point, I was transporting 6 people, and I was actually treating people while holding a newborn. So it's like a one-handed thing, and also trying to, keep an eye on the newborn. But that was my first real one, and I was basically on scene long enough to be able to get what I could loaded up, somebody else to get there and start taking over. And so I probably overloaded the ER just myself, but it is what it is. And then I don't know, probably a few months later, I'm telling you, my deployments were not your traditional deployments, but there's actually a plane crash. It was a plane full of contractors.
Okay.
And I think there were 38 people on board.
That was like a C-130 or?
No, this is a little, I think, dual propeller, like.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Dang.
And
It's like a Richie Valens plane crash.
Yeah, but it ended up crashing into a field right outside the gate, and we all went out. There ended up only being 2 survivors initially, and it was just one of those things where another crew got one of them. I got one, and only when all said and done, only one person ended up surviving that plane crash. But again, it was just one of those things where who expects to, deploy and have that?
I would call that a bad day.
Yeah,
that's not a. I went to McDonald's and they got my nugget count wrong. Bad day. That's a legit. We're in it now, bud.
So, I mean, luckily for me, at least me and my well-being at the time, I had already experienced so much in like the couple of months prior to that I think it's safe to say that I was completely numb at that point. I mean, I was void of emotion.
Yeah. Whenever I joined the military, I can't remember if it was one of my many instructors for one of the many courses I had to go through for the corpsman pipeline, or if it was one of the senior corpsmen when I got to my first unit. But somebody along my journey had told me calm breeds calm. And I'm going to tell you, that is one of the truest statements ever. If the guy that's supposed to be there to rectify the issue, or whether you're a police officer, a medic, somebody in the military, whatever, if you're calm, there's so many people that are going to benefit from that. And I know we kind of got sidetracked.
No, I mean, but what you're saying is correct. I mean, that's especially true with children.
Oh, for sure.
That's why we had that incident not too long ago with that baby. And
I was so thankful. Me and every responding person that was there, after we got done with the call, we all kind of had a debrief. We're like, thank God Frank was here.
Well, I mean, initially, we're trying to work on the baby, but I'm trying to keep both parents somewhat
stable. Calm.
I mean, calm wasn't going to happen, but somewhat manageable.
Yeah.
But that's why I finally I gave up. I'm like, all right, you guys do what you have to do in here. I'm going to go outside and work on the baby.
Yeah.
And that's what I did.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what you have to do. But both parents were freaking out, which in turn caused the rest of the children to freak out. And it was just
a snowball effect.
Yeah, it was just hysteria. So again, if I have to take my party outside, I'm going to do that, and you guys do what you have to do in here.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of times when we go to calls involving children, you'll see me try and focus a little bit on the parents to see if I can maybe settle them, just bring it down a couple of notches.
Speaking of trying to calm kids down, how about, it's a situation where mom or dad or both is going to jail, and you got your partner over there shucking and jiving, doing a dance to keep the kids calm. Like, hey, you want some stickers? Hey, watch this, You want to see a magic trick?
Now you see your parents, now you don't. I mean, example of inappropriate humor. Sorry.
Now you see him, now you can tell.
Well, I mean, I'm glad you guys watched as long as you did.
Oh goodness. But no, seriously, like there's a lot of times where I say something off kilter and my wife looks at me like, why are you this way? And I'm like, honey, it's better than an uncontrollable drinking habit, I guess.
It's like the improv scene from Ted 2. You people are monsters.
Yeah. And if you haven't seen that, it's the scene where they go to the improv comedy show and they're yelling out insane things.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, but that's kind of inspired me to want to do that. Like, maybe when we go to Vegas at some point, we can go to an improv show and
start throwing out asinine things.
Probably get kicked out.
Yeah. No, but seriously, like, I think to do this job and to do it well, you have to have some sort of, is healthy the word? Healthy dark humor.
I mean, healthy dark humor. I mean, I guess you could probably go with that.
Yeah, well, it's really a reason why we wanted to start this podcast.
Yeah.
Is, it's a way for us to cope with things, and maybe us sharing how we deal with things can in turn help you deal with your things. I don't know.
I mean, by all means, too, we would love to hear your examples. I know probably some people don't want to post in the comments, but I mean, send us an email. Let us know. Tell us stories about, how you cope or situations you've encountered, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
We read every email we get. We read every comment we get. That's why some people get special attention.
Yeah, that's why we have the keyword of the week.
Yeah, like old Bri. We haven't forgot about you. Yeah. And on a side note, we actually have a couple of new.
Yeah.
So be watching for those.
The Basement Battalion is going to get some more
recruits,
/
volunteers, really.
Command structure.
Yes. Again, I mean, they've all volunteered for it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But I digress.
Yeah. But it's if you do this job long enough, you're just gonna find things that are inappropriately funny.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no way around it. Like I recently responded to a motor vehicle crash, and like I get on scene, the guys laying outside the car, screaming, everybody's kind of around doing their job, and I'm super fixated on what's in the trees. The car hood was in the trees, and I'm like, I've seen a lot of things in trees. Body parts, people, other aspects of vehicles or other parts of vehicles. I've never seen a car hood in trees before. And I was just like...
Are you telling me you can't park there?
No. Oh, man. That's a missed opportunity.
It is.
Yeah. But, it was pretty crazy. It was, I don't know. Like, even the guy screaming, I'm like, you're fine. Wow, that's cool.
Squirrel.
Yeah.
Yeah, Isaiah gets shiny object syndrome quite a bit sometimes.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Listen, it happens to the best of us.
Mm-hmm. No, and again, you have to have that thick skin. You have to develop that scar tissue, if you will.
Oh, for sure. Oh, just a perfect example. The other day, I was running traffic along the highway, and this red Mustang, driving the speed limit, dude drives by, and he flips me the bird. And I'm like, hey, that guy. And I almost went after him. I'm like, no. Don't take the bait. Mm-hmm. He hurt your feelings. It's not illegal.
Yeah.
He's expressing his First Amendment right. Yeah.
He's telling you that you're number one.
I am number one in his book. Yes. Exactly. Yeah. So, I just laughed it off.
Yeah. I mean, you have to, and honestly, too, it's because of some of those traumatic experiences that you do experience that, oddly enough, help you grow into a more mature person. Yeah. Theoretically, a more mature person.
Yeah. Before the military, I don't think I could have done this job. I don't think I could have done it well and stayed in it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I hate to quote Spider-Man, but whether you're, no matter what form of first responder you are, with great power comes great responsibility. Because if you think about it, for law enforcement officers, a couple keystrokes and a signature, we are changing people's lives for the better or for the worse.
Mm-hmm.
And usually it's a pretty significant amount of time that they're going away for, and you have to be humble about it, because at the end of the day, like I was having a conversation with somebody at our agency that's higher up in the chain of command, and we were talking about how people lose sight of law enforcement, how it's the uniform you wear, it's just clothes.
Mm-hmm.
This, like, I understand that it's an important job, but at the end of the day, it's just a job. But people take it too severely to to the left or right, not talking politics here, but people take it so far
To extremes.
that what? How dare you undermine my authority? You don't respect my dude. Nobody has time for that guy.
Cartman with a badge.
Yeah, calm down. It's literally not that serious.
Yeah, and I mean, part of the dark humor that we build, I think, to a degree, comes from fear. And whether you realize it or not, you stay in this industry long enough, this field long enough, you begin to realize whether you're a cop, a firefighter, EMS, dispatch, whatever, one mistake, one bad day where you're off of your game and you can cause secondary and tertiary effects far beyond.
That's like the butterfly effect.
Yeah, I mean, your action or misaction can have some effects that are life changing, not just for one person, but for a lot of people.
I don't know why this just popped in my head, but you know the one thing I hated most about being a dispatcher? So whenever I was dispatching, it was a smaller agency, and we just had the cops. That was it. No fire, no EMS. But it was a smaller agency, so it was nothing to have a slow night and have all the guys in dispatch, and we'd just be hanging out, But I hated it when their cars were in the parking lot, and it's one of those calls where it's one of those gut-wrenching, nail-biting, weapons offense or shots fired or something, right? And you see them all out to their car, you see them all light up, and you see them drive away. That was the one thing I hated the most because I wasn't with them.
Yeah.
And it wasn't thrill-seeking. It was, I'm not there to protect them. Not saying they need protecting, but...
No, I mean, it's FOMO, the whole fear of missing out.
Yeah.
And I'm not necessarily saying missing out in the spectator type of way.
Right.
But just not being there when you're needed.
Well, it's... we had this whenever I had first come up to this agency. In our agency, when you're in field training, you can't make overtime unless it's a special type of event or whatever. And we had a...
Wait, are you still on this? Are you going to talk about what I think you're going to talk about?
I just thought about it. It was one of those types of calls where it had the potential to be something big, right? And I was like, nope, you got to go home. What? Dude, I want to go play too. I get it, you want to, bud, but here's the deal. You got to go home. And I was like,
you were pouting about that for 2-3 days.
Yeah, dude, I was just, And then Frank calls me and he's like, hey, man, you didn't miss anything. I really wasn't anything.
No. But yeah, I mean, the look on your face, it was like you walked up to a 3-year-old and just snatched
the toy out of
the lollipop right out of their hand.
Yeah. I drove home sulking that dude. I was like,
obviously, you're still holding on to it.
No, I'm over it now.
Apparently not.
No, listen, it's for sake of conversation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to talk about? Anything else I've done that has made you feel sad, deflated?
No.
Well, I'll try harder. All right, so
you want to crack the emo can?
Yeah, we'll crack this one open.
It's your turn.
My turn. Yeah,
You're going to get something good.
I'm going to get something just absolutely redonkulous.
Yeah. Hopefully it's something with dark humor. Remember, don't pre-read it. Just go. You like to pre-read them. Just go.
Yeah, I'd like to be able to think about
from the hip,
what is going to get me canceled.
Shoot from the hip. Doing it live.
Oh, we ask for volunteers, don't ask why.
Yeah. Caveat that if you're in the military and your staff sergeant or somebody hires says, hey, I need 3 volunteers, don't ask why, because all of a sudden he needs 2 volunteers.
Yep.
Because you're the 3rd one. Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.